To understand the future of China, to grasp its grand strategy and its high-stakes relationship with the world, we can't just look at today's headlines. We have to go back in time, over 150 years, to a dying dynasty and two powerful secret slogans that forged an unbreakable blueprint for the nation's destiny. This ancient blueprint, crafted during the Qing Dynasty's decline, still guides China's every move today. And it has set the stage for two profoundly different futures. One is a path of nationalist confrontation, military conflict, and global isolation. The other is a path of pragmatic moderation, economic dominance, and a new kind of global leadership. Today, we're unlocking that blueprint to explore China's great dilemma, the flashpoint of Taiwan, and the coming generational shift that could change everything. Which path will China choose? The answer will define the 21st century. So, what is this secret blueprint? It comes down to two phrases, crafted in the 19th century as Qing officials grappled with powerful European empires.
The first is fuguo qiangbing. It means rich country and strong army. It's China's abiding material ambition. While other great powers of the 20th century, like Germany, Japan, or the UK, deprioritized military strength after war or imperial
decline, China has not. This quest is non-negotiable. The second is zhongti xiyong. This translates to Chinese for essence, Western for usage. It's the powerful idea that China can adopt Western technology, military frameworks, and economic models without sacrificing its authentic cultural and political self. It's about achieving progress without becoming Western. Look at China today, and you see this blueprint perfectly realized. It now has the world's second biggest economy and its second biggest military. And under President Xi, it's doubling, down on zhongti, pouring resources into promoting a modernized, authoritarian Confucian culture to define its Chinese essence. But here's the great dilemma that the Qing Dynasty never faced. In our interconnected 21st century, the two parts of the blueprint are now in conflict. China's prosperity, its i.e., rich country status, depends almost entirely on its deep integration into the global economy. Its supply chains, its foreign investments, its access to new markets. But flexing its strong army, especially with aggressive moves over Taiwan, the South China Sea, or the Indian border, jeopardizes all of it. It makes partners and investors wonder if they can truly rely on China. Essentially, the quest for military strength could destroy the economic prosperity it was meant to protect, and nowhere is this risk greater than the flashpoint of Taiwan. A war over Taiwan would be a lose-lose scenario, a catastrophe for everyone, but especially for Beijing's grand ambitions. Even if China could pull off a violent seizure of the island, the aftermath would be devastating. Asia would become deeply nervous, sparking a regional arms race. Powerful nations would likely impose sanctions, crippling China's economy. The re-education of a conquered Taiwan would destroy its high-tech, export-oriented economy, a huge loss for the world. And the blow to China's soft power would be immense. The story would be that Beijing was never able to peacefully persuade its own cultural compatriots to join them. A China that can't convince Taiwan will struggle to convince anyone else that it can lead a community of common destiny. At home, the war could trigger devastating inflation, threatening the social stability the CCP prizes above all. But what if China doesn't choose this path of confrontation? There's a powerful reason to believe a different, more moderate China could emerge in the next 20 years. It's called the generational shift. The leaders who will take charge in the coming decades are the Zhuling-ho, the post-1990s generation. Unlike Xi Jinping, whose worldview was forged in the chaos of the Cultural Revolution and its desire for absolute order, this new generation grew up in a more open China. A China with daring journalism, real political debates, and relatively free social media. They won't be Western-style liberals, but they may be more pragmatic. They see Russia as an economic dead end and understand that a less confrontational, more open China is actually a stronger China on the world stage. So what would this more moderate China look like? It would still be authoritarian, but instead of military threats, it might build its global appeal around two things. First, a new ideology, authoritarian welfarism. combining top-down coercive control with massive social spending to provide public goods and reduce inequality, presenting itself as a stable and prosperous alternative to what it calls the failures of liberal capitalism. Second, and most importantly, it could become the undisputed global leader on one key issue, the green energy transition. By dominating the export of electric vehicles and green energy components, China can provide a global public good. It can frame its green offerings not just as practical, but as a matter of justice, supplying what the Western countries responsible for the climate crisis have failed to deliver. So, in 20 years, China could be a very different geopolitical actor. Not a liberal democracy, but a more manageable, less militaristic power, focused on geoeconomic and green leadership. To get there, China will have to change. It will need to tone down its harsh rhetoric and convince the world it doesn't seek to solve problems through force. As the article wisely concludes, the least reliable way to predict China's future has always been to extrapolate in a straight line from where it is now. The choice lies in its own ancient blueprint. Will the strong army destroy the rich country, or will China's next generation find a new, smarter balance to achieve both? Which future for China do you think is more likely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this deep dive into China's future insightful, please give it a like, subscribe for more geopolitical analysis, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.